Cool. All right.
Woo-hoo.
Here we go. This one time, a special edition, because Jory, you're here in
I
California.
know. I get to look at you
Yeah,
in the
look
face,
at this.
not on
Yeah,
the
we're
computer.
in the same room, and not just in the same old room. We have a beautiful new studio.
Savannah.
Here we go.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Seeing it in person is even better. It's so pretty.
Yeah, Alvaro and Maya did such a great job with this thing.
Kudos to them.
Yeah.
And I mean, this could not make me more proud. The branding on it.
Yeah, it's so nice. What a great touch.
I've warped everybody here.
The attention to detail, super important.
Put your colors on it. Put your logo on it.
That's right. That's
Make it
right.
ours.
Yeah. Yes. But what are we doing here today? You know, we're episode. You have the counter going, right? We're like 18.
I do. No, I think this is 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question.
A quick look.
I'm gonna gander real quick.
Yeah. Well, while you do that, I'll just give a quick intro for folks who might be joining us for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
At this one time, we're chronicling.
This one time, 19.
Episode 19. We're chronicling our journey, our robot development journey here at Urban Machine. My name is Andrew Gillies. I'm the CTO at Urban Machine, where we're building systems to reclaim waste lumber from construction and demolition, put it back to work. So we're really trying to make the circular economy happen here. We're starting in Northern California. And always Jory Wisniewski. We're here, marketing manager at Urban Machine, leading the charge.
That's right.
Yeah. And really what we're trying to do here is just share our story, do a little bit of building in public. And really the hope is by, sharing these stories, we can kind of, people talk about hardware being hard, but you don't hear the details of that. We're really here to hope maybe pull back the curtain a little bit. And, other people out there that might be building hardware, maybe it'll connect with the story. Maybe it'll help them get to their goals a little bit faster.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're all here to do.
I've shared this with a few of my son's friends, since he's in college now, who are in engineering. And it's
nice.
Inspiring people to want to apply for a summer internship.
Yeah.
I know.
Bring them on.
Bring them on. Right? The more applications, the better.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had an army of interns last summer.
Yeah,
and,
they were awesome.
We missed them dearly.
I know.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that extra work.
Makes the last week of August kind of challenging.
Yeah,
feels
for
lonely.
Sure. Yeah, and especially for when they left, we were in the midst of what we're talking about today, right? Like, you guys were really trying to ramp up, hear what was happening.
Yeah. So we were rolling into pilot number 2 for Urban Machine at Zanker Green Waste in San Jose. Zanker Green Waste is one of the largest construction, demolition, recycling facilities on the West Coast, and they agreed to host us and our system at their site and put our unit to the test, see how much lumber we could reclaim, get, work out the kinks, do all the good things you do during a pilot. And really what that means is like putting our next generation machine in the field for the first time, running it day in, day out with operators down there in San Jose. And that's, in early September, we were really going into that cycle. We knew we were going to be deploying in the October timeframe. So, beginning of September, as those interns were leaving, we were really turning our attention towards testing that unit that we were going to deploy in our shop here in Oakland.
Right.
That's where we were.
And just for reference, so all summer, the deployment number 1 was at All Bay Lumber. And while that was being tested, here in the shop, you were building for deployment number 2.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. So the party never stops. We had that pilot going, and even before we deployed the All Bay pilot in the summer, we were already designing the next system. So while we were at All Bay through the summer, we had already hit go and were fabricating this system, which internally we call the 3.1 system. That was the one targeted for Zanker. So yeah, we had already by early mid-September we had built that unit already.
Okay.
Like as we were finishing the All Bay deployment.
Okay. And so before you were able to deploy to Zanker, what were the parameters that you had? What were the things that you had to meet?
Yeah.
to
So
say, yeah, we're ready. Let's bring it out there.
yeah, there's always this question of like, when are you ready to go in the field?
Mm-hmm.
And generally, the field is always the richest place to learn the environment while you're going to be operating the robot. But you don't want to force the issue too early. If you get it there too soon, you're going to be fighting issues in an environment that's much harder to fight issues than here in the shop.
Sure.
So we really want to get those like first line problems taken care of in here. So what we did, we set some internal benchmarks for the performance of the machine, which more or less accounts to how long can we operate this thing before we encounter some sort of hardware or software fault, right? So we wanted to go X number, let's say like 2 shifts, we wanted to go without experiencing any faults, right? So that's sort of our internal criteria to say if we can't do that, we're not ready yet in the field, because that means that we haven't eliminated the low-hanging fruit yet. So that was really what we were doing, and that starts in a limited capacity with the engineering team running the system directly, because that's where your first line, just like really minor problems. And then as you start to gain some sort of stability in the system, we had our field operators come to the office here and actually run evening shifts with the robot in Oakland, just to put more and more hours on the system. And we did that for about a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then push comes to shove, you're ready to go. You set the date, you meet the date.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And what was that morning like? Wrapping it up and
yeah. So there's always,
there's
no matter how much you think you're prepared, there's always that extra little bit of detail that you just kind of miss through the process. But it's really exciting. This is the second time that we've bundled up our system and put it out of the field. So we felt just much more prepared this time around in terms of simple things like how do we get the systems onto the trailer with our forklift effectively, how do we attach them to the trailer effectively, like what needs tie down points, how do things get ordered on and off of the trailer, like all that stuff we had already had a practice at with All Bay.
Sure.
So when we did this at All Bay, I think that night before deployment we were in the office until like 2 a.m. or something that. And this time around, I think we were done at like 3 p.m. that day. And we're like, okay, I guess we're done. Good job, everybody.
Yeah,
you're almost like, wow, okay, that was much less painful. Yeah, how about doing
now you're pros. Like,
exactly.
We did this once before.
We did this once. We're good to go.
Here, let's show.
Yeah.
That's you guys wrapping it up.
Yeah, so that's that day, the evening before we left, and you can see, so we're looking at our metal detector quality control unit on the far right here, and then further down you can see some other conveyors, and then ultimately our robot picker cell on the far left. So that's really the core of our system, that far left cell.
And it is all hands on deck. I see Gabby hiding back there.
Yep.
There's Aiden.
Yep.
There's Tyler.
Then there's Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's really exciting for the whole team to see their hard work go out the door like this. Everybody really wants to be involved.
For
It's
sure.
like obviously Tyler being on the software firmware team, like he is not in his job description to be on a trailer cranking straps down, but there he is.
I love it. Yeah, but there he is.
Yeah.
For sure. With gusto, no less.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love it.
As he does. Yeah.
Okay, so then did you guys follow it out there like you did?
We kind of did a divide and conquer approach because we wanted to conserve resources a little bit more this time. Zanker's a little bit trickier to get to.
And farther.
It's farther.
Right.
Yeah, it's about 3 times the time to get there. Traffic can be a problem. There are also, Zanker is an active C&D waste facility, so we wanted to limit our presence on site from a safety perspective. Like limit the head count, get staff on board in sort of a staged manner instead of showing up with a whole party. So the first day,
no champagne this time.
No champagne this time.
Okay.
So the first day, Aiden and I were down there with David, our field operator.
Okay.
So it was the 3 of us working on the system, and here's the snapshot of the trailer after it's been dropped off, and we've removed some of the straps on it. And the first thing you'll notice about the Zanker site is that it's gorgeous. You're at the top of the world down there. You're at the edge of the bay. You see Mission Peak in the background. If you turn the other direction, there's Stanford and the foothills going that way.
Okay. I'm
Yeah, the
excited.
Coast
I'm going to see it
Range.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So it's a very pretty site, and we have a huge lot. The good thing about Zanker is they have a massive amount of land there, so like a generous footprint for us to spread out in.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, I mean, taking it off the trailer.
Yeah, always an exciting moment. Um, I'm I am forklift certified. I've done forklift training. This was a little bit bigger than the biggest forklift I've driven, and this was fun,
Heavy machinery.
but very high stakes. So I think there's always some consternation about like who's going to be picking our extremely precious and expensive robot off the trailer. Of course, I volunteered, and yeah, it went really well. I'd say for anyone else who has to move heavy machinery around, this is your move. This is the go-to move.
This is the coolest.
It was, especially compared to the way we did it at All Bay, it was so seamless.
Okay.
The deployment process was extremely fast this time. We had we used the same tent that we had at All Bay, so we kind of recycled our tent and redeployed that.
Okay.
And the tent was kind of a pain in the butt. It's just it's effectively almost a consumer product, and it had taken a beating at All Bay.
Being outside for 2 months.
But even with that tent, we were pretty much up. We were pretty much up and ready to go within about half a day or so.
Yeah.
It was extremely fast. If it wasn't for that tent, I'd say we'd have the whole thing up and running in a couple hours.
Huh.
Yeah, which anybody deploying like
There's that
an
tent.
assembly, yeah. So there's that tent, that doggone tent.
As you can see, it's like.
It's had better days.
Yeah.
This is the end of the line. So we're wrapping up this pilot in a week or so here, and this tent is met the end of the road.
Yeah. 4 months of wind and
Yes.
rain and sun and sun and sun.
Yes, yes. So it's had a good run at
Okay.
it. But yeah, I'm extremely
And it's really
proud.
windy out there, right?
It's extremely windy.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
you're
you
at
can
the edge
see
of the
it.
bay.
Yeah. that
You're
makes
getting
sense.
blasted. Yeah, so we're gonna invest a little bit more in coverings and guidelines on the next system. But yeah, the whole system went together super smoothly. Yeah, and then there was a little bit of hiccups. So we run this whole system off of solar, which is super cool. I think it's super impressive, or
Yeah.
at least surprising for some individuals that
I
we can.
told someone last week that because they were asking like how it's how much energy it takes, whatever, and I told them your stat that it's basically like running a refrigerator in your own home, but we're doing it with solar power. And he was like, wait, pause. And I had to pull out the picture. I showed. I was like, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it is indeed true. So yeah, this was great. This is a system that we rented, and it's been performing well for us. That was kind of the one little hiccup, is that there was some cabling between the solar and our system.
Okay.
That the solar supplier had to go do another field trip to find some connector they needed. So if it wasn't for that, we'd be up and running within a handful of hours on this whole thing. And we were running the next day.
But that's just it. It's kind of like the difference between the first time you deployed at All Bay and the second time at Zanker. It was fast, and now you'll know for next time we deploy that not to forget that cable.
Yeah. Be locked and loaded.
Yeah, be locked and loaded.
Yeah, we were pretty
you
much.
You learn
up and
from
running.
the errors. That's part of what this whole show is about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You learn from these mistakes, and very often it's a very simple fix.
Yep.
Even though we tried to jerry rig it in a way that has bells and whistles.
It's true. Yeah, like there's always a pull to overcomplicate things in some scenarios. I mean, the big difference with this deployment at All Bay, we had access to grid power.
Okay.
So we didn't have this whole, this is pretty much like recycling camping, right?
Yeah.
There's no hookups, there's no nothing. Like we, like rented porta potties, all the glorious things.
Yeah,
but
I see them over there.
like this is like robotics camping pretty much. So you had to like bring everything that you need up the hill here. Yeah. So like despite that, it's been extremely smooth.
Awesome.
Yeah, and beautiful. You get up there early in the morning, and it's pretty stunning. So you can see, this is
And
one of the
quiet.
quiet, and I can't remember when I was down there one early morning. This must have been mid-November at some point. And it's just, yeah, it's exciting being up there.
For sure. And
Yeah.
this,
Yeah, and then this is really what we're here for. Is this is straight out of the Zanker waste stream, and they have a lot of it. So our process with them is that we have these little green steel racks that we have at various sites across their yard, pulling material into these, and then we load them up, bring them up to our machine, and then they get fed into our system more or less just like this. Run them through, scan them, find the fasteners, pull them out.
but wait, when you say yard, I mean, they have like 3 miles, right, of land?
Oh yeah, they have, I don't know how many acres it is.
Oh, acres is probably better.
Sort of like, oh man, it might be hundreds, something like that. They have 3 main sites there that they run operations on.
3, yeah. So they can pull from 3 different places.
Yeah.
The wood could come into. Okay.
That's
And
right.
then our guys go pick this wood up
That's right.
and pile it up in front of the robot. They run it through the robot and
And there's the result. This is our product at the end of the day, bundled up and ready to go.
Look at how pretty
Yeah.
it is.
Fastener free.
Fastener free.
Yeah. Yeah. Ready to go back to work.
Fancy. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
That's a pretty nice pattern. This is almost like one of those abstract.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, look at that. I got some
Yeah.
skills. I spoke too soon.
Oh, that's
There we
great.
go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Amazing.
Kind of like our wall behind us.
That's right. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're wrapping it up at Zanker. Next week is the last week. We have some fun stuff happening. Stop share. We have some fun stuff happening there tomorrow. Some videos. So we'll have some new video footage of the robot in the next couple weeks, definitely by the new year. So people can see exactly what's happening there. And take the tents down and take video, and I'll try to get in the nitty gritty.
Get right in there.
Yeah, get in there and see the big birds pulling the nails and really see all your hardware at work.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Yeah, it's going to be good to get some really solid footage of that.
Yeah, and Ashley's going to take some awesome pictures. So,
nice.
Yeah, we can stop just talking about it and show it.
Yes, exactly. I always try to get as many photos and videos when you're down there as you can. But it's hard when you're in the moment. You always think you're taking more than you are, and then when you look back at it, you're like, wait, that's it? That's all?
Yeah.
That's all I did?
But that's like a vacation. You know what I mean? Like, if you have your phone out the whole time or your camera out the whole time, you're going to miss actually enjoying yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, the fruits of your labor. So we talked about our internships opportunities this summer. Do you know what lies ahead? I mean, now it's a couple months away.
Well, we actually have one position open right now on the software team.
That's true. I have a real position.
Yeah. So full-time role. Yeah. So we have that. You can find it at our website or machine.build. It's also on our LinkedIn page and it's listed on WellFound as well. Yeah. So we're looking for a senior software engineer right now. If that interests the folks out there, definitely.
And a field engineer.
And a field engineer. That's right. Yeah. Field engineer, someone who wants to get out there in the field, work on these machines, help with maintenance, help smooth out operations.
Yeah.
Yep. That's open. And then interns.
Last summer we had hardware, software, and
operations.
Wood,
product. Wood product. Yeah. So I think we'll be doing at least 3 interns next summer, maybe more.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'd like to expand the pool a little bit.
For sure. Well, because next summer is going to be really busy.
It's going to be action-packed. Every summer is more action-packed.
That's right. Bigger and better.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. And this one time, we'll have another story for you in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
Probably after the new year, I would think.
Probably after the new year. And we're going to get to that part 3 of Aiden's Z actuator adventure. We're looking.
A little teaser.
We have ordered the hardware.
Okay.
So we spent a bunch of money. That's always an exciting moment. And now we're waiting for the vendor to ship us the supplies. We've had a couple of boxes come in. We see that Parker logo on the box, and we know stuff is coming in. Yeah, so we'll probably be looking at late January, early February to unbox that stuff.
Okay, so we can maybe expect part 3 sometime in February.
Probably early February.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I look forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.